Ever thought how much wealth would you have accumulated if you were to invest just $1,000 in today's giants like Amazon, Microsoft and Facebook at their IPO or initial public offering, and would have kept that shares till now? Let's find out with to who, what, why. Initial public offering is the process by which a private company can go public by sale of its stocks to general public. After IPO, the company's shares are traded in an open market. Those shares can be further sold by investors through secondary market trading. Amazon, one of the largest retail giants, first sold its shares to the public on May 15, 1997. The initial public offering, IPO, was priced at $18 per share. If you had bought $1,000 worth of shares, that would be 55 shares. After the company's 3 stock splits in 1998, 1999 and again in 1999, you would own 660 shares as in 2020, which is valued at $1.32 million. Now, were you thinking about why you didn't invest that $1,000? Facebook, the social networking site we all love and enjoy and spend most of our free hours on, held its initial public offering on May 18, 2012. At that time, it was the largest technology IPO in U.S. history. Facebook offered 421,233,615 shares at a price of $38 per share and raised $16.007 billion through that offering. If you had bought $1,000 of FB shares at its IPO and held on to it until today, with a share price of $188 as of October 25, 2019, your 26 shares that you paid $1,000 for would now be worth $4,888, gain of nearly 5x on the original investment. I know it's not as much as Amazon, but still 5 times profit is not bad. Microsoft's initial public offering price was $21 per share at the IPO on March 13, 1986. That means if you had bought $1,000 of Microsoft shares, you would have owned 47 shares, and after 9 share splits, you would have owned 13,536 shares, which would be worth more than $2 million today. Google, now known as Alphabet Incorporated, most used search engine, often called Mr. Know-It-All, is much bigger than a simple search engine, and it held its highly anticipated IPO in 2004, 6 years after it was founded. The company had already become a search juggernaut by that time, and IPO shares priced at $85 per share for a valuation of $23 billion. With $1,000 you could have gotten 11 shares of the company. According to our Google split history records, Alphabet has had 2 splits. After split you would have owned 22 shares worth $24,090 today. Now coming to another giant who has its claws in many things from insurance to wholesale distribution. Berkshire existed long before Buffett's takeover in 1964. He began buying stock in 1962. The company considers 1964 as its starting year to measure corporate performance. The initial IPO from the class of shares was before Buffett's arrival, but the cost per share is estimated at $19. Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated has had 1 split. That means at IPO you would have owned 52 shares of the company. After split it would have become 2,600 shares, which would estimate to $705.9 million. Apple, the most valuable tech company on earth, went public on December 12, 1980 at $22 per share. The stock has split 4 times since the IPO. That means your original 45 shares after split would become 2,520 shares, which would be worth $639,525 now. On June 29, 2010, Tesla Motors launched its initial public offering at a price of $17 per share. The IPO raised $226 million for the company. That would mean that you own 588 shares of Tesla, which is almost worth $319,284 in 2020. So do you wish you had invested in these companies at their IPO? I sure do. tell in comments in which company you would have invested. But what if you could go back in time to invest in these companies? Stay tuned to know the answers to all your questions and hit that subscribe button while you are at it. Also smash that bell icon.